p.m. Okay, the first order of business is roll call. May we please commence roll call?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Let's start. Student trustee Mall. Oh, let me unmute. Student trustee Mall. Okay. President Nida Manuri. Vice President Kasowski.
You can probably mute your computer.
Oh, am I muted? Oh, wait.
You can mute. I think we can hear you.
He's here. He's about to.
Here.
Graphic designer Mon.
Oh my God.
Oh, Chairperson Guerrero. Chairperson Patineo. Here. Chairperson Almendra.
Here.
Chairperson Fernandez.
Here.
Chairperson Sosa here. Representative Beltran. Representative Caesar. Representative Cruz.
Present.
Representative Peretru.
Present.
Representative Basalto.
Present.
Representative Sharma.
Here. Present.
Representative Dua Ansari.
Present.
Representative Villalon. Representative Eric Villalon. Representative Giron.
Present.
Representative Anti.
Here.
Representative Bogdan. Representative Erwacher.
Here.
Representative Alvarez. Representative Violovska. Representative Baston.
Here.
Sorry. Representative Lamisa Khan.
Present.
Rose. Representative Perkasa.
Present.
Steve. Representative Kumu.
Present.
E.
Present.
Representative Slaughter.
Present.
Representative Dinansaka.
Present.
Representative Kotapali.
Here, present.
Representative Nguyen. Representative Ansadi. Representative Dean. Representative Nkumetari.
Present.
Representative Cocaro. Representative Reina Cocaro. Okay, Representative Adi. Representative Flynn.
Present.
Representative Carbanja. Representative Sanyam Carbanja. Representative Sarah Khan. Representative Malik.
Present.
Representative Dolma. Representative Tenzin Dolma. Representative Anand.
All right. Thank you. The next order of business is reading and approval of the minutes. Please take the time to read over the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If not, then the minutes will stand as approved. The next order of business is reading and approval of the agenda. Please take the time to read over the agenda. Are there any corrections to the agenda? If not, then the agenda will stand as approved. The next order of business is public comment. Is there any public comment? If not, we will move on to the next order of business, which is guest speakers. Our first guest speaker is Rama Izar from SJP. Is Rama here?
Yes.
Hi.
I do have my presentation. I shared it with Ahmed, but I can share it again. Can you share it with me? Yes, sure. It doesn't, it won't come up with the USC, just so you know. Yeah, because it's not a USC.
Are you listening?
Me? No.
I can just.
Yeah. It's just, I was like, you know. No, you're good.
Sorry, just a second as we transition. And so you can stand up here and speak into this mic.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That's cool.
And I'll be at this computer
Okay.
and you can control this.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, it's just taking a second.
No, it's okay. I shared it with Muhammad. Sorry, I didn't know. I shared it with us.
Sorry. Sorry, guys, just waiting for to show up. Oh.
Oh, maybe check your spam because it's not
Oh,
always, you know. Okay, there.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
Here, here, can I just see this? real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
Oh my God, it's so annoying. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Great.
Yay.
Cool. All right.
Oh, sorry, let me
Oh,
actually
sorry.
share it. All right. You can go ahead, I think.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks. All right. Thanks for waiting, guys. Hi, everybody. My name is Rama. I'm the treasurer at SJP, which stands for Students for Justice in Palestine. And I'm going to be presenting about the funding collaboration we'd love to do with USG. So yeah, thank you for having me. So before I get into what like the funding would be for, I just wanted to give you guys like a brief overview of what SJP is. So we are a solidarity organization with the purpose of organizing for Palestinian human rights that are violated by the apartheid state of Israel. And we're also intersectional, so we advocate for other issues such as Black rights, etc. So with that, we will be having an event 2 weeks from today, 6 to 10 in the Illinois room, and it will be called Pally Pageant. So it's basically a mix of a dinner and a fashion show, and it's for all UIC students. Does not matter like what your ethnicity is or anything like that. It's for everybody, and anybody can sign up to walk the runway. That form is currently scheduled to close on this Friday. And so you don't have to be Palestinian to come, to participate, anything. And the main goal of it is to show all of like UIC's cultures in unity while keeping Palestinian culture at the center. So this is just like a brief little agenda for you all. So first we're going to have like some check-in time, a welcome speech, and then the fashion show is scheduled to take about an hour. We're hoping to have 10 to 15 participants or groups. As of now, we have 5, which is great. And like I said, they can be from any culture, wearing any cultural clothing. And then at 7:30, that's when the pageant will end, and all the attendees, so we're scheduled to have 250 total, which is great. They all get to vote for their top participant, and then the top 3 will get crowns. There'll also be like a photo booth, a lot of places to take pictures. So it's really, interactive, even if you're not participating. And then at 8, we'll have dinner from Kebabchi, which is a Palestinian business located on Taylor Street with Mediterranean food. And then to finish off the night, we're gonna have a Debka performance. So for anyone who's not aware, Debka is a cultural dance. It's really, really like hype. So it's gonna be a really great way to end the night. So that's that. So getting into the costs that we're requesting. So we're currently finalizing details with Kebabchi and UIC. The estimate is scheduled to come in soon, but as of now, it's around $1,000 to feed 250 people. We're thinking of just doing like platters because now like food is allowed in events, so that'll be easier. And then in terms of decorations, I know Party City and Target are on the approved vendor list. So as you guys can see, there are the costs for the decorations we need. So balloons, tablecloths, the red carpet, we want to have like a red carpet, make it all fancy. And then party favors to give to each person. And then lastly, a backdrop for the photo booth and to like take pictures throughout the night. So that's that. And it would total out to about $1,600. So yeah, and then I also did want to cover USG promotion, obviously. So we want to make a mini agenda for each participant. So it would look something like here, this little outline. And on the mini agenda, we can include the USG seal so that they know, like, you know, it's also a big portion of the event is paid for by USG. I don't know what that is, sorry. And then also, as I mentioned, we're gonna have a welcome speech. So of course we would, you know, give a huge shout out to USG. And if any of you wanted to like coordinate speaking during that speech as well. And then since the biggest cost that will be covered, hopefully, is the food. When we come to like have people go get their food, we would introduce as like being brought to you by USG. And I don't know what that sound is. Is it okay? I don't know if it's gonna like feedback. Okay. Thanks. And then yeah, so we're open to discussing this further as well. But those were just the ideas that we came up with. So yeah, and then I have some contact info. So like I said, I'm the treasurer. And there's also the emails of our president and vice president. If you want to check out our Instagram at SJPYC, our flyers have already been posted for this event. And that's all for me. Do you guys have any questions? Like, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Yes, Anshu? Sorry. All right.
Yeah, I know you mentioned for Prabhavji, like you didn't get the estimate yet. Is the $1,000 above the estimate in case the estimate is over that?
Honestly, I think it, yeah, I think it wouldn't be too, like, it wouldn't be too low. I'm not sure if it would be, like, I think it would be around that. I don't think it would go much higher, but like we can pay any difference that there is.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Daniela?
Yeah, I guess it's more for like the board, but are we sure we can pay this? No, I would want us to like make sure that we can like. So usually I'm not sure we can pay this vendor, this restaurant, and I just want to make sure that if that's not the case, that we can still fund you for another restaurant. So are we sure?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions? Any on Zoom? Sorry. All right, if not, thank you for coming to, oh,
Sorry.
there is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, last call for questions. Anyone? If not, thank you for coming to speak to us today.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome to stay. We'll be voting on your resolution tonight, but you can also leave if you want. We will now move on to our next speaker. I'm sorry if I butcher this name, Adedoyin Dada from MAPS. Are they here?
Yes, I'm present.
All right. Do you have a presentation that you want to share?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Can you enable screen sharing, please?
Yes. I think you should be able to share right now. Do you want to try? All right, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Adedoyin Dada, and I'm the president of MAPS, the Minority Association of Pre-Medical Students. And I just wanted to give a quick overview of what our organization is about. Our organization is a predominantly pre-medical organization, but we're also open to all in regards to pre-health and all students to increase acceptances of students into medical schools with the aim of diversifying the healthcare field. We're also part of a pipeline organization from the Student National Medical Association, and part of their mission is to support current and future underrepresented minority medical students to help create more clinically excellent, culturally competent, and socially conscious physicians. So a quick overview of what I'll be talking about today is talking about the event we are requesting funding for, an itemized version of funding, some history of collaborations, and a brief conclusion. So the event we are requesting funding for is a CVM. Essentially, it's a cardiopulmonary resuscitation CPR certification with bowling, as well as what we call MAPS giving. And I'll go into what a little bit that means. So we're hoping that students and faculty and staff will be able to join us for a fun night for the opportunity to get CPR certification, and also just to bring in more people. We wanted to offer bowling as well as an opportunity to give back to the community. Part of MAPS giving would be making tote bags from donated t-shirts that we've already acquired. And this would take place on April 12th this year from 5 to 7:30 p.m. The location would be in both the USC bowling alley as well as the Cardinal Room in SCE. And we already have confirmation of the location for the Cardinal Room. And we're hoping that this event will offer students the opportunity to get CPR certification, as well as the opportunity to network with other students, faculty, and staff. We also intend on inviting various faculty and staff regarding the Urban Health Program, USC College of Medicine, students, alumni, and anyone that's interested in coming. Obviously, you wouldn't have to get a CPR certification by attending, but we hope that it will encourage more people to get certified, especially because we are trying to provide it for free or an extremely low cost. So the outline essentially is us setting up for about 30 minutes, both the bowling alley and the Cardinal Room for CPR certification. We were informed we weren't allowed to do the CPR specifically in the side area in the bowling alley, and that's why we preserved the Cardinal Room. And the CPR aspect of the event MAPS will be covering, but the main portion that we want USG to fund is both the bowling for attendees as well as the food. And we were going to give the opportunity for people to either take the food on their way out or eat in the bowling alley or even in the Cardinal Room if they like. And we would prefer to have bowling from 5 to 7 since the bowling alley doesn't do half-hour cutoffs. And after 7 p.m., we'd also allow people just to congregate in the Cardinal Room. And then the teardown would be from 7:30 to 8 p.m. For the bowling night, it is $12 per person for 1 hour. It's an extra $2 for the additional hour. So it'd be about $14 per person to cover shoe rental and 2 hours of bowling and any assistance. We were hoping to get at least 60 people free entry for the bowling. And then after 60 people, people could pay UIC Bowling Alley to bowl if they'd like. And then regarding food and catering, we made a breakdown of everything and how much food we would have. We're hoping that this will be hopefully more than enough. And also food is a great incentive for students and other individuals to attend. So we're hoping that more students and attendees will come as a result of the food. And this would be from UIC Catering. And our total itemized budget, we're hoping to impact about 60 people, and in total bowling plus the catering would be about $1,404.90. And then divide that by 60, it'd be about $23 per person. And we also intend on applying for SOFAB funding from CSI to fund our CPR portion. And then our history of collaborations with USG, we do try to repost USG events, and even in regards to like USG elections and other promotions, we try to do that. And in regards to any flyers that I've personally received, I also do try to forward that to like campus housing, have those flyers put up within the dormitories. In regards to staying connected, you can follow us on Instagram at maps_UIC. I also included our link tree and my contact information as well. But thank you all so much. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Does anyone have any questions? John?
I wanted to ask if you guys had an RSVP form set up for attendees so that you can kind of gauge how many people will be coming. I know you said you anticipate 60, but I was wondering if you had that for confirmation or if you planned on setting that up.
Currently, when we put in the request for the room reservation, we also added a RSVP form on there, so we'll be able to know how many people are coming based off that. But that's how much we're specifically like setting up for.
Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead.
So I didn't entirely hear that, so just to clarify, so you said you do have an RSVP form, and so you'll know the exact number placed closer to the date, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Any other questions? Oh, Tanya?
Are these two separate events? Because there's two different locations.
So the question is, are these two separate events because there's two different locations?
They're not two separate events. It's just we have to reserve an alternative room for the CPR because we're not allowed to do CPR in the bowling alley according to their managers.
Thank you. Lilu?
Hi, I was wondering if you do hit that max number of 60 people who take the CPR certification, is there going to be a way for students to still get the certification and like pay whoever is coming to do the certifying, or are they just cutting off after 60?
After that, we would just allow other people to pay, but we just wanted to have the option for students to be able to get it for free. Otherwise, students would be paying $12, but again, MAPS would be covering the CPR aspect of this. So it would be open to all regardless of whether it was free or low cost.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone on Zoom? If not, thank you for coming to speak to us today. You're welcome to stay in the meeting. We will be voting on your resolution tonight, and you can also not stay if you want. The next speaker we have is from, or speakers, is from SAE. So if you guys would like to come up, I can present my screen again. So you just press here.
I see more slides.
Yeah, and then speak into the mic.
Speaking of slides. Okay, cool, thank you. Hope you all having a good day. We are SAE at UIC, the Society of Automotive Engineers, and I'm Aman Hassan. I'm the sponsorship and marketing liaison.
And I'm Hannah Theon, the treasurer and Baja captain of SAE.
So a little bit about our organization. We are a student-run engineering organization with the task of designing, building, and competing race cars. You can see our two main competitions are the Baja SAE and the Formula SAE, which is held every year. And we've been an organization for a very, very long time. So we pretty regularly attend these competitions. And even though most of our majors or most of our members in our society are engineering focused, we obviously welcome students from all majors and all fields. And we are a very diverse group of people. This is again a little bit more of our overview, not to take too much time. These are the main three main teams that we have in our organization. Baja is built for off-road and survivability. Formula is just fast, but on gas, while Formula Electric is the same thing as Formula, but on electricity. I will mention that Formula E is a rather new team, and I'm the co-founder of Formula E, so this is like a work in progress team, so to speak. So a little bit about our past, present, and future as to what we've been doing in the past year or so. So in February of 2021, me and a couple of people actually presented at a Formula E virtual design competition and won second place. Hannah here, who is our Baja captain, led our Baja team to the two unsanctioned competitions, the one in October and February. And these are unsanctioned competitions where we face other colleges. So it's super interesting. And that's a little bit of picture about what we're about to face. Oh God. Yeah, that's more about what we're about to face in the next couple of months. So super hectic. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is just a little bit of our timeline for how close these competitions are. So you can see in the upper left is the 58 days until our Baja competition and 64 days until our Formula competition. I've also added our Arizona, but that's for another time. So what we're asking funding for specifically is just food for our Baja SAE Tennessee Tech competition, as well as our Formula SAE Michigan competition. The dates for each of those competitions is also listed up there. But what this event is, a little bit more about it, is it's hosted by SAE International, which is a professional organization that takes people who have society of automotive engineers, like related career fields, and they put on a collegiate design series that includes super mileage, Formula E, Baja, all these different types of competitions. So we would be attending the Formula division of it, as well as the Baja. We get to compete competitively against all teams around the world. This year we have like Canada, Brazil, Mexico, India. So all those people are coming from around the world. And at these competitions, we also get to work with alumni from other schools, alumni from our school, as well as company recruiters. And we also get to represent our university at these competitions that have 100 teams or so. So this is our itemized funding list. So it's the same for both of our competitions, but we're asking for about like 1,500 for each competition, and then that would be like a total of 3,000. So I kind of calculated based on 12 students and the per diem cost for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is a 5-night, 6-day competition for 12 students. And so it comes out to be the same for both. And so our impact of your funding would be, we would have 12 people at each of these competitions who are USC students going. So that'd be 24 students total, and we would be covering the food accommodations for a 6-day event.
So these competitions, obviously, it's a 6-day, 5-night competition or so. But obviously, us building the cars to represent a university like this is months of us trying to, get the knowledge behind the cars, do our research, and then obviously eventually build these cars. So this is really a first-hand experience for new students and our veteran students to see their hard work kind of come to life. And obviously, as Anna mentioned before, we get to meet with university recruiters and such. For example, at our Blizzard competition in February, we had Milwaukee Tool reach out to us. They wanted to partner with us, give us tools, give us a chance to offer our students full-time opportunities in the form of internships or just after graduation, so to speak. Sponsorship and marketing. So this is what we currently do in terms of sponsorship and marketing. Like, this is what I do personally as the liaison. Obviously, you can see our social media links and stuff. And yeah, this is more of just like what I do. And this is kind of what we can offer at USG. So obviously, posting about you guys on our social media. We can feature you guys on our website and our brochure that gets usually distributed in the Chicago Auto Show. These are some of the other potentials. Cross-organization events, like for example, today, you guys had the Illinois Secretary of State Candidate Forum. I remember seeing a couple of you there. So obviously I bought in like a pack of 7-8 of our members just to show support, because obviously this is something vehicle related. So we came in, we showed our support, and that is something that we would love to do more in the future. And these are other potentials. We could potentially have decals of you guys on our actual cars, but again, this is something that we're open to discuss. We would have to obviously go over the logistics of this. And similarly, we could have an article written by either the UIC College of Engineering or the UIC Mechanical and Industrial Engineering Department. So these are some of the things that we would love to talk more about in terms of logistics of what we could provide for you guys. Yeah, that's us.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Questions?
Daniela?
Yeah, it's not a question. I just like want to make things kind of like continue to collaborate. So I just definitely want to encourage the budget for this funding, because it's just such a great, it's 2 competitions and it's a lot of work that you have been putting on. I also want to say having the sticker on a car would be very cool. If that's something we can talk about.
Yep.
So amazing. But just I don't have any questions. Well, how many people are going to be attending the conference?
So each competition has 12 people. So we'll have 12 people go to the Baja one and 12 to the Formula. And I believe there's no overlapping of members.
No. And then at the actual conference, there's 100 teams, and I don't think there's a limit on how many each school can bring. So there could be like 1,000 people there. So
John, go ahead.
So I wanted to ask a little bit about the details of the food. So is it like you go to the competition and then you pay for the food to be served, like, so you're paying the competition to give you food? Or is this like paying a certain amount and then you guys go out and buy the food? What's the arrangement there?
so we would be requesting like food, like grocery type food from Target, and then we pick it up before we leave to then bring with us to the competition.
We've had previous conversations with Muhammad, your treasurer, which I know he's not here today, but shout out to him. He's been super helpful for the process. But we've talked to him and we came up with the fact that we would have all the groceries to a certain Target location here in Chicago, and then we would have our own way of storing the food that we would carry with us through the 6 days of competition.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Anyone Zoom? Go ahead, Sam.
Do you all compete against Northwestern?
We'll try to be their ass. If they do
Yeah.
compete, we'll try to be their ass. I promise you.
I have some friends in the Northwestern formula team, and I would really like it if you guys.
Well, this competition, they'll only see the back of our car.
Okay, great. That's great.
Woo!
Nice.
Okay, any last questions? Going once, going twice. If not, thanks for coming to speak to us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome to stay. You can also leave.
Yeah, we kind of had to work on the cars.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, we will now move on to the next order of business, which is old business, and our first resolution is Resolution 2022 S7101. Saba, would you like to present this? No.
This always happens.
Yeah. Do you want to come up?
Okay, what about now?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I motion that we table resolution 2022 S7101.
There's been a motion to table Resolution 2022 S7101. Is there a second? All those in favor of tabling Resolution 2022 S7101, please say aye.
Aye.
All that opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion has passed and this resolution has been tabled. We don't have to clap for this. Okay. We will move on to the next order of business, which is new business. And the first resolution we have is Resolution 2022 S8805. Could we have someone present this? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the collaboration with the Society of Automotive Engineers. Whereas the undergraduate student government has funds allocated to collaborate with and support USC student organizations in their endeavors. And whereas the Society of Automotive Engineers is a student-run engineering organization at USC centered around the task of designing, building, and competing race cars. And whereas SAE has requested that USG support their cost of food for purchase prior to departing for the Baja SAE Tennessee Tech and Formula SAE Michigan events. And let it be resolved that USG shall allocate up to $3,000 to cover the cost of purchasing food for their travels and stay. And let it be further resolved that any unspent funds shall be returned to the budget.
Thank you. Are there any questions about this resolution? Aren't you?
I move to use an executive order to vote on this tonight.
There's been an executive order to vote on this tonight, so we will be voting on this tonight. Any questions? Sam?
Is SAE aware that the resolution has less than what they had written out, like the 1,600 something for each competition? Is that an issue?
It's a good question.
Tanya?
Yeah, they said that, they did calculate the cost out 1,600 something, but they're just bringing it down to 1,500.
Okay, sounds great. Any other questions or comments? Matthew?
Not a question, but I have a comment. Yeah, I think this is great if we're able to support them in their competition. I think last year we sponsored the chess club in their competition, and they won first place, so that was pretty great of them. And over since our funding, they've got sponsorship from Chicago Chess Center and chess.com. So I think it'll be great to have our name up with them.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Anyone on Zoom? If not, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting Resolution 2022 S8805, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the resolution has passed. Sorry, guys, I didn't bring the gavel today. We will move on to the next resolution, which is Resolution 2022 S8806. Arson, would you like to present this again?
So this resolution is the USG collaboration with SJP, whereas the undergraduate student government has funding set aside to collaborate and support USG student organizations in their endeavors. And whereas Student for Justice in Palestine is hosting a tally pageant, which aims to showcase all cultures through displays of different attires and food options. Then, let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government shall allocate up to $1,600 to cover the cost of food and decoration items for SJP's tally pageant event. And let it be further resolved that any unspent funds shall be returned to the budget.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Anshu?
I move to use an executive order to vote on this tonight.
There has been an executive order to vote on this tonight, so we will be voting after discussion. Any more questions or comments? Going once, going twice. If not, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting Resolution 2022 S8806, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the resolution is passed. Okay, thanks. We will now move on to the next resolution, which is Resolution 2022 S8807. Arson, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. This resolution is a collaboration of Minority Association of Pre-Medical Students, whereas the undergraduate student government has funds allocated to collaborate with and support USC student organizations in their endeavors. And whereas the mission of the Minority Association of Pre-Medical Students is to seamlessly guide undergraduate students through their journey to medical school and bridge the national gap between minority and non-minority students. And whereas MAPS has requested that USG support their cost of catering and bowling for a total of 60 students at their CBM event. And let it be resolved that USG shall allocate up to $1,500 to cover the cost of catering and bowling for 60 students and attendees. And let it be resolved that any unspent funds shall be returned to the budget.
Thank you. Are there any questions, Anshu?
I move to use an executive order to vote on this tonight.
There has been an executive order to vote on Resolution 2022 SA807 tonight, so we will be voting after discussion. Any questions or comments? Going once, going twice. If not, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting Resolution 2022 SA807, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the resolution is passed. Okay, we will now move on to our next order of business, which is items for discussion. Does anyone have any items for discussion? If not, we will move on to our next order of business, which is ex officio reports. May we please have the report of the advisor?
There's nothing to report.
All right, thank you. We will now move on to the report of the student trustee. Is there a report for the student trustee? If not, we will move on to our next order of business, which is officer reports. May we please have the report of the president?
Hello, everyone. Last week, I attended Connecting Student Leaders and was able to socialize with many student leaders and share the work that we've done with other student organizations. Thanks to Felix and Daniela for making such a great event and for all the reps that helped. Thank you. I was also able to judge UIC Radio's DJ battle on Friday. So big thanks to UIC Radio for the opportunity. And shout out to the USC members for an excellent performance. Darian, Brenda, and Anthony performed, so they did a great job. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the lobby day meetings today due to time conflicts. And we are finalizing the USG leadership retreat with the executive team and Speaker of the House, and we're aiming for as many reps to attend in person. So we're still trying to find the best time, which wouldn't affect any spring break plans, hopefully. And I will be participating in the first round interviews for the position of Assistant Vice Chancellor for Student Health and Wellness and the Executive Director of the Counseling Center, taking place tomorrow and Wednesday at 8 a.m. So I will update the body once the semifinalists have been announced. I'll also be meeting with UIC Library leadership alongside many of our student government members to discuss initiatives in progress tomorrow. And I'll also be attending the Public Safety Board meeting with UIC stakeholders and continue to advocate for students this week. I yield for questions.
Are there any questions for Anshu? If not, then the report. Oh, Danya, go ahead. Could you turn on your mic?
What? Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Can I ask a little bit more on the UIC library initiative? Is this in regards to a certain, like, can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so we recently set up like a monthly meeting with the UIC library. So this is like the first recurring meeting that we're going to be having. I know Matthew's committee is working on a couple of initiatives, so we plan to talk about those. If Matthew, you want to elaborate on the initiatives that we plan to discuss?
Yeah, with the UIC library. Yeah, we're planning to talk follow up on the Faculty OER Leadership Award. The Dean of Libraries is willing to support that and be the kind of administrator to present the award along with the president to these faculty members. We also will discuss putting things in the library, such as the headshot booth and some of those charging lockers. And I can talk more about it in my own report.
Thank you. Any other questions? Daniela?
Yeah, just kind of like a comment. So one of my committee members, and we're working with Matthew's committee member, Alex, and they have been trying to consider where to put some sleeping area or sleeping pods on campus. I was wondering if one of them could join or both could join this meeting to consider. I know that UIC libraries and also they have been considering either for a sleeping area or for sleeping pods, or just to like see what their free would be. Would it be okay for them to join that meeting?
So we have like 5 or 6 people from USG already attending the meeting. So just because we already have like a lot of people coming, I would say no. But if they would be fine emailing me like all the information, and I can bring it up and let them know what is that.
Any other questions? Comments? If not, then the report of the president will be filed. Next, we have the report of the vice president.
Hello?
Yep.
All right. All right. So, quote of the day: life is going to teach you how strong the human heart is, not of its fragility. When you go through life, you become grittier, I guess, right? So, begin with the report. So, I had a meeting with Vice Chancellor Rex Tolliver in my Mental Health Coalition meeting Tuesday. We discussed the Reading Days resolution. It wasn't, Rex Tolliver didn't have much advice for like how we could proceed with it. He more so pointed to us to different colleagues that we could reach out to. So we'll be reaching out to the to Donald Wink from the Executive Senate Committee to better plan out the Reading Days resolution, and we'll be continuing to work with the Graduate Student Council as we proceed with it. leadership UIC team. We're still developing the mental health website. And on April 8th is when we'll be making a presentation to the Chancellor, Rex Tolliver, and other stakeholders who we can invite to the SLCE presentation meeting. So we hope to, or at least I hope to make a very good impression there. And I hope to also finish up with the Mental Health Coalition survey so that we can use the data gathered in that presentation to leave a lasting, or to leave some sort of impact on the Vice Chancellor, Rex Tolliver, at the very least. Chancellor, of course, but he'll be leaving. Mental Health Coalition survey. Finished converting into Qualtrics. However, there are some questions that do need to be modified. So I'll be finishing up that this week. And today was the Secretary of State Candidates Forum, which I believe was a huge success. Sadly, Ana Valencia kind of dropped out last minute. However, we had a great conversation with Alderman David Moore and Representative Dan Brady. So I'd like to give a shout out and thank you to Representative Arson, Rena, Anthony, Michael, John, Anshu, and Veronica and Abigail. Thank you very much for assisting this. And also, sadly, to hear from the Political Science Union wasn't there to help since he's on the other side of the globe. But thank you to her. The recording is on the Student Government YouTube channel, so you guys can look at it if you want. Besides that, I think it was a great success. Great line communication was established with the alderman, which will be particularly useful for the safety task force, since he is very much open to helping us. We believe we could probably use that connection now to get in contact with the UIC alderman, or at least the alderman in this ward. And also provost meeting was scheduled for April 6th with me and John. So besides that, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Any questions? Someone's mic is on. If not, then the report of the Vice President will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Treasurer.
Okay, so I'll be presenting the Treasury report today. The quote of the week was slow down and everything you are chasing will come around and catch you, by John De Paula. Thank you to Daniela and Felix for hosting the Connecting Student Leaders event this past Thursday. So we also held our weekly Treasury Committee meeting to meet with the Minority Association of Pre-Medical Students. Terms of collaboration have been finalized and the resolution is ready for consideration. We have also finalized terms of collaboration with SAE at UIC and SJP. Resolutions are also ready to be considered. We have also assisted Vice President Arthur in completing the logistics for the upcoming Secretary Forum. We have also delivered our merchandise with Chairwoman Abigail Patino. Please make sure to pick up yours and represent the USG proudly. We have also met individually with new committee members. Mohammed is excited to have all of you in the committee, and he is looking forward to the progress we will make. If you have any questions, please reach out to Treasury Mohammed.
Thank you. As stated, if you have any questions or comments, please reach out to Mohammed, and the report of the Treasurer will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Speaker. Hi, everyone. How are you? Actually, don't answer. Sorry. So said that. Anyways, thank you. I've been setting the agenda and finalizing workshops for the Representative Leadership Summit. And we're still talking about dates, but we're tentatively looking at March 27th. And I would love for all representatives to be attending in person. So if you can't, if you have to attend virtually or can't attend at all, please let me know as soon as possible. We worked on the USG Social. We're looking to hold it a week after the Leadership Summit. We brainstormed and planned activities with, or I brainstormed and planned activities with Sam. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So we'll be sending out RSVP and availability forms soon. In terms of the reading resolution, as Arthur stated, we met with Rex Tolliver during MHC. And I've been implementing some of the suggestions he's making in the resolution. We had the hybrid model in mind going into it, but after the meeting, we're leaning more towards kind of mirroring UIUC's reading day schedule because it would be easier to pass that way. In terms of MHC, Arthur is finalizing the survey and it should be going out soon. And have a great spring break to everyone going somewhere. Are there any questions? If not, then the report of the speaker will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Chief of Staff.
Hi, everyone. So to start things off, I coordinated with Speaker Michelle and the executive team on planning and scheduling the new member retreat. And so hopefully that will all be finished up soon and we'll get back to you guys on a date. And I also worked reviewing and making question adjustments to the MHC student survey with Vice President Arthur, and that should be out relatively soon. I continued work putting together the safety task force and onboarding representatives for the working group. Once again, anybody else who is interested in helping out or being a part of that, please email me or send me a group me message. I also worked with Vice President Arthur on finishing up planning for the Secretary of State Forum, reaching out to the remaining candidates, finishing public messaging and outreach, and creating plans for logistics. And then also today, I attended the forum, helped with execution of the event, and I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out. I wanted to thank Arthur for doing an awesome job as moderator. Not an easy task. He killed it. And next, I worked with Chairman Felix and Chairwoman Daniela on the final steps of the Connecting Student Leaders and execution of the event. Congratulations to both of them on not only executing the event, but also somehow doing even better than the last one, which is already great. And so thanks so much to Daniela and Felix. And then I began coordinating with President Anshu and leaders of USC business organizations, such as Financial Investment Group, on a potential career event. And I worked with Vice President Arthur and interim speaker Sam Blinn to schedule a meeting with Assistant of Outreach of the Counseling Center, Steve, on mental health issues. And so hopefully that meeting will be within the next few weeks. And I conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for John? Anyone on Zoom? If not, then the report of the Chief of Staff will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Diversity and Inclusion Chair.
Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. I want to start with my quote of the day. Hard work is worthless for those that don't believe in themselves. Naruto Uzumaki. And then I have some reminders. So for reminders, we have 2 surveys my committee is working on. These have been open, have been on our Instagram for a while, but if you haven't filled those out or shared them, please do so. One is for resting sleeping spaces. So basically, if people want sleeping pods or a sleeping area on campus. For this initiative too, please contact either Noor or Alex. If you have any suggestion or where should we put a sleeping area or more sleeping pods on campus. And then for members that have been part of USG for a while, USG was able to purchase the sleeping pods that are on the Montgomery launch. So if anyone has the contact information of that vendor, that would be amazing. And apart from that, we have the UIC Campus Housing Hygiene and Safety Survey. So if any of you live on campus, please make sure to fill this out. Thank you also for everyone who attended the USG photo shoot. I think it went great. We're gonna be having those pictures in around 2 weeks. And then I'm gonna make sure to send those to PAC so they can use it for marketing or any other purposes, and also for all of you for your headshots. New members, I did not receive any new members in my committee in diversity and inclusion, but if any of you at any point want to collaborate with diversity and inclusion, our meetings are Fridays 5 to 6, and those are hybrid, so please feel free to join, or feel free to contact me or anyone in my committee at any time to collaborate. Thanks to you all who attended or promoted Connecting Student Leaders, which was on Thursday. The event was a success. We had to even order more food because so many people attended. Thank you also to our advisor and our treasurer for all their hard work and patience in the processing of this payment. I'm still in conversations with the sustainability department about how to implement a long-lasting fund dedicated to helping students afford the DB Bike annual membership, and what is the best way to distribute bike safety gear to students. I just don't want to give it out to people that might not have even a bike. Shout out to Lilo. They planned and hosted a guided meditation for beginners, and it went great. Lilo is also Lilo is also hosting on March 15th, which is tomorrow, a guided meditation and social for the LGBTQI+ community on campus. So if any of you are interested in attending, please don't miss it. I also attended the Women's Leadership Summit hosted by our secretary and our representative, me. Both truly did a great job. It was a success. It was truly such a good event. And then we also had Melody as a speaker there. So thank you. Wait, let me read. As a speaker, Melody, our own representative, was excellent. Overall, so happy to have attended. So and other members are pursuing their own initiatives, so more details to come. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Daniela? If not, then the report of the Diversity and Inclusion Chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Legislative Affairs Chair.
Hi, everyone. So in our committee, we're discussing the next steps for resolution I need. As you saw, we just tabled it as we just want to collect ourselves and pass it how we fully want it. And NSAB have been collecting data in support of the idea, and they'll continue to do so. And the rest of our committee, once it's fully passed and we have all ideas fleshed out. We're continuing to search for speakers for the political science and public policy event. We picked out a day and a time for that, and we estimate it'll be April 6th from 4 to 6 p.m. in hybrid format. And last week I joined the lobbying briefing meeting, and I joined the SCEP meeting on Wednesday. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Michael? Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. Any questions? If not, then the report of the Legislative Affairs Chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Public Affairs Chair.
Okay, so we found a committee meeting time, which is Tuesday at 7 p.m., but unfortunately I have an exam tomorrow at 7 p.m., so I will not be able to do that. So we'll have our first committee meeting after spring break. And I apologize everyone for the delay. I know I want to meet you guys, so I really am sorry. I worked with Vice President Arthur on the Secretary of State Forum, and I hope that everyone that came out really enjoyed it. I bundled the merch with some great representatives. Thank you for all the help. And make sure to pick yours up at the end of the meeting. They're up front with your name on them. Also, to new representatives, please make sure to send in your website Google form so that I can add you to the website. It's due by tonight, so please do that like literally after the meeting so you don't forget if you haven't done it. And I'm finalizing the student resource survey presentation. I finished the slideshow, and so now I'm working on the infographic. And thank you again to Felix and Daniela for the amazing Connecting Student Leadership event. That was so awesome. And that's the end of my report. Oh, no, never mind. I have another thing. In addition to filling out that Google form for me, also make sure to fill out the transportation survey that we advertised on our Instagram, and it's on our link tree, because you could win $100. So make sure to fill it out. It's due by Thursday. So, and it's super short. Okay, now I conclude my report.
All right. Are there any questions for Abby? If not, then the report of the Public Affairs Chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Student Success Chair.
Hello, everyone. So I've attached my committee report in an email. I believe I replied to all, if everyone has that now. Great. So yeah, the quote I have here is put your heart, mind, and soul into everything, even your smallest acts. This is the secret to success. So. Great. All right. So with my report, or the report of the committee. So I'll be meeting with the Dean of Libraries tomorrow with Anshu, John, Felix, and Arthur. We're going to talk about the USG Faculty OER Leadership Award, just ironing out the logistics of that. So it'll be an up and ready program by next year. In addition, we're going to talk about the headshot booth, see where we can place that in the library, and they're actually willing to help sponsor this booth. And we also would like to talk about the Senate and what they're doing with the student evaluation forms. Part of the plan with the OER Leadership Award is that after each semester, they send out student evaluation forms. And we're hoping to get an OER evaluation on those forms. And that way we can kind of gauge the affordability of taking a course outside of tuition for every class. But first we have to talk to the Senate about that. But I don't really see too much pushback from it. And then I met with Felix to discuss the project timeline for the Electron Go charging portables. I talked about this a bit last week, but basically they're portable chargers that you can put across campus. Students can borrow these chargers for free as long as they return it back in the appropriate timeline. And the committee is continuing their meetings with the departments. I believe we're meeting with the biology department this Friday. Last week we met with the College of Engineering, and they're very eager to work with us and collaborate more with USG. In fact, they want to establish a student advisory board. And what we would like to do is get USG a part of that advisory board. But yeah, that's just the first of many of our relationship with each of the colleges. In terms of career development, I believe Carolina's scheduling a meeting with the company that's selling these headshot booths. It's from the company called, I think, Iris Booth. And then after we get all the quote and information, we'll meet with the career services and discuss how we can split up the finances. Also going to meet with Lauren of the LES Career Center to see how we can probably do another event this semester. And finally, for the initiatives that my representatives are working on, Yasmin is working on working with CSI to reopen the student org spaces. Me is trying to organize an international student roundtable. Thea is working on improving tutoring services and potentially working on a mental health event. Alex is working with the diversity inclusion committee on like sleeping rooms or student pods. Manor is continuing her work with merit-based scholarships, and Sarah is working on a provost list for part-time students. So if you'd like to learn more about those initiatives or collaborate, please reach out to those representatives. But I yield my time.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Matthew? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so first, before they're able to rent or borrow a they need to create an account. The consequences if they don't return it on time is that they'll be charged a fee, like probably a loss fee. But other than that fee, it's completely free for students.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? If not, then the report of the student success chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the campus life chair. Do we have someone reading that?
Yeah, so I'll be reading it. Sorry.
You're good.
Basically, he would, Felix isn't here, but he'd like to thank everyone who was able to make it to the Connecting Student Leaders event, who helped make it happen. If you helped, he just would like to remind you to email Michelle and CC Daniela and himself to confirm that you were there and you could get the points. And also he wants to extend a special thanks to Daniela for being so amazing. He couldn't have done it without you. He also met with Chief of Staff Donners about the Connecting Student Leaders event, and he got good feedback about how to make the Connecting Student Leaders event better. Met with Chairwoman Guerrero to finalize plans for said event, and co-hosted that same event last week. Summary is that great feedback, had so much fun, connected with our Hawkeyes manager, and wanted to thank everyone. Last week we didn't have a CLC meeting because of the event, but he also met with Chairman Almendras about the portable chargers, and he sent a final email to the organizations who attended with information about other organizations. He'd like to wish everyone a fun and safe spring break. If you have any questions about what he did last week and in this week, feel free to get in contact with him.
Thank you. Please email Felix if you have any questions or comments, and the report of the Campus Life Share will be filed. We will now move on to the next order of business, which is announcements. Does anyone have any announcements? Melody?
So I wanted to announce that one, Shakina turned in her petitions either today or yesterday. She had more than 3 times the amount of signatures. So thank you for everybody that contributed to the petition form. And also, we are still lobbying. Thank you to the USG members and e-board members that have been involved in that process. However, you know, we can't let Urbana beat us out, basically. So I'm gonna need y'all to step up so we can have more UIC faces on these meetings, and, you know, really show what our experiences are like as, you know, college students in the U of I system. We can't let Urbana just continue to be the flagship. So, you know, if y'all want more information, y'all have my group meet. Just DM me, come see me after the meeting. Y'all don't even have to go to the briefing meetings. I could tell y'all in 5 minutes what they're about, instead of y'all being on that 30-minute call. So just letting you know that it's a great opportunity. It's also a great opportunity to meet with legislators, to maintain, you know, that connection with them. If you're interested in policy, politics, governance, you know, it's a good way to get involved in that, to be a student aide for some of them, to be an intern. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and feel free to reach out to me. I'm very approachable, so thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other announcements? Go ahead, Alex.
Yes, so earlier today, one of our representatives was greatly injured, and as we were sitting in the USG office, there was not a first aid kit in sight. So I'd like to know who to talk to about that so we can implement a first aid kit as soon as possible. Thank you. It was just a pencil wound, but still.
Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. Okay. Does anyone know by any chance who to contact?
Something we could buy.
We could buy one in a resolution, maybe, Sam said. Yeah, thanks for letting us know, Matthew. Yeah.
Yeah, to comment that, you know, we're committed to the safety of students. The student is fine, but yeah, we need to do better in ensuring that every student has the proper medical attention they need when they're injured on campus.
Who is the student?
It's anonymous.
Okay.
Not gonna tell us. Okay. Any other any other announcements? If not, we will move on. Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sending out an availability form for the social, which is going to be happening after spring break. So please do let me know what times work for you. We're trying to put together a really fun social, and it is going to be fun. So as soon as I send that out, please do respond, and thanks.
All right. Any last announcements? No, you're good. Go ahead.
I forget to say report, but shout out to Darian, Anthony, and Brother for being amazing student meeting.
Woo! Are they here? Anthony's here. Okay. Any other announcements? If not, we will move on to the next order of business, which is adjournment. Yay, Darian! Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of ending the meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All that opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, the meeting has adjourned at 7:34 p.m.